text messaging thing back and forth on the computer with
Yeah,
entities that I later figured out must be AI.
yeah. I had a guy, first, his rebate futures, he was actually, he brought a guy there, he worked on some first AI since it was public. And he goes, you guys don't understand, it still, it learns as it's talking about you, right? When it
That's
asks
why
for
it's
feedback.
sucking up all the information from everywhere.
But it's also sucking up the bad information is the good, so he goes, so I got, goes, literally for 2.5 years, I sat there and I talked to the AI engine. And asked it questions, and literally had a conversation with it, like, 8 to 10 hours a day, teaching it and testing it and seeing if it's right. And yeah, he goes, and then all of a sudden he goes, one day it flipped, it started actually asking me questions, to clarify and everything. It's like, he goes, that's when I knew it was ready, because it was finally at the point where
It's ready to take over the world.
yeah, right. It's like, so can we not watch any of these movies? It's right.
So therefore, he's the authority of which everything that AI uses.
But he told,
Yes, I just wondered.
well, what he did is, like, see, like, even with this one, when it gives me an answer, it provides citations
Oh,
on where it pulled it from. Like this one, it literally referenced the Department of Revenue
Yeah,
assessment manual.
some of that, because sometimes there have been cases where the references were made up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was
That's interesting.
there was a filing in the Wisconsin Supreme Court where they picked an associate lazy and had AI and put in the citations that didn't.
So they can't openly invite the public to.
Yeah.
And I actually clicked on these and I said, oh, well, there it is. There's the Wisconsin Department of Revenue assessment manual popped out. Okay, well,
Wild.
No, it's sucking up information from the
Can't have it
internet
for
too.
the public.
how much crap is out there? Yeah, right. Actually, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't say coaching it in terms of, he's telling you, what is, pulling like from a cartoon, something related to, no, that's not, at least give it a lesser priority than the other stuff.
Okay.
It's fascinating.
In that case, the form of the citations were correct, so I learned that, but
All of them.
now I decided.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Hopefully.
It worked on it.
Revenue says,
Yeah.
Someone else worked with research.
Yeah, that's not really true.
Yeah.
Or not current, or interesting. Huh. Wow,
Brief, you would expect
fascinating.
somebody's gonna.
Well, I've done that a couple times now. I've used it for something, and my God, there it is, there's my memo.
Well, that's what shows up on that home now. I know, it's the little.
Yeah. But it's fun to test it. It's something you know what the answer is, and it's fun to test it every once in a while, just to see what it does. Most of the time, it's pretty good.
Feeding the beast.
Yeah, exactly. No kidding. It feels like it's like,
Too newfangled.
yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
Going back and forth with my brother and sister on the luggage dimensions and the utensil.
Oh, God, yeah.
And of course, my brother kept me on skipping rope because he was never good at math. So this was like 3 hours ago. We were going back and forth to his response. And we were following all this, but still doing the math on
I'm
luggage.
still doing math on luggage, nice.
Good evening.
So did you come back in or have you been here?
I went home, had dinner, came back, yeah. That allowed me to see you guys before
Yeah.
she went to sleep.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully we'll keep it.
that's all right. Yeah?
Yeah, short but very important. One, I did not hear right.
Yeah. One is me and then the other one.
It's all more, everything's looking for.
Both in the same, so if he's not here, I'm not talking.
Oh, I guess it's like 5 minutes.
It's a new job.
So,
It's supposed to.
Jack's already ready to go. Yep. I'd like to call to order the Monday, August 19th meeting of the City of Monona's Finance and Personnel Committee. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Alder DeFoe.
Here.
Excuse me. Alder Wood.
Here.
Mayor O'Connor.
here. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the July 15th meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved. There are no appearances for finance and personnel.
Nope.
There's no unfinished business. Under new business, first item A, financial report. Mark, do you wanna
Yeah.
walk us through this?
Second, I got my stuff out of order. So I know we did this last quarter, we just did the second quarter last month, so it's kind of hitting on where you're at through July, just kind of the same stuff. I'm just gonna hit on some bigger issues. I've made a lot of notes. If you have questions on some of them, let me know. But the big areas of concern, the revenues are right on target for majority for the end of the year. With that, yeah, the bigger issues would probably be, if we're looking at stuff, is legal. Legal is projected, to be over this year between $20,000 to $40,000 over. It's probably the biggest concern for the general fund for right now. It would be that account.
Does that, excuse me, Mark, does that include TIF?
It does not. So anything that's TIF related or utility related, any other funds, they're in their separate accounts.
Yeah, okay.
So this is all general fund related. It's not court cost, it's not the court piece. They have their own separate one.
Okay, thanks.
So that's because if you kind of go to page 16, just kind of went in this for the general fund. So the city budgeted to use fund balance, budget to use $174,000 in fund balance. So when you use that, so that's basically saying you're gonna have, at the end of the year, if everything balances out, everything comes on budget, revenues and expenses, you should have a budgeted loss of, should have an actual loss of $174,000 in the general fund, because that's the money that was used for fund balance. So our projected loss with everything right now is only $140,000. So in reality, what that means is we have a $34,000 gain, if that, but we'll still show up in the end of the year, on the books, we'll show a loss. But the reality is we have to look at, we use $174,000 for the garbage and recycling fund. We use this one time, depending on what happens on the election, or with the referendum.
But we were planning on that, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why it's
So I just want to show that that's, because somebody might look at it and say, oh, you have $174,000 loss at the end of the year.
Okay.
But the reality is that's what we budgeted, and that should, we
Right.
came in right on target then.
And when you, the projected gain of 34,000 is a gain over what we thought it was gonna be when we passed the budget.
Right. So,
Okay.
so that mainly for the general fund. The other one, the library, this year, I know we talked about last time too, is
What page is that?
page 19 and 20. So they have some staff overtime with some bonuses paid and some other things they took out of their fund balance, but So at the-
Why is that showing that it's coming out of their regular salary lines?
we have to show it there for accounting purposes at the end of the
Oh,
year.
okay.
It would be, at the end of the year, gain or loss would come on their fund balance. So they know at the end of the year, they're gonna have some, a loss.
How much was that?
I think together, that portion should only be about 16,000. So they have a little bit other losses in there too, so.
Okay. But that was just for these bonuses they decided to get?
Yeah,
But there's a projected loss of more than that.
yeah, it's projected loss, so the other loss is just over, so some other wage issues where they're using a little bit more part-time wages than they expect they needed, so that's gonna be a little bit over too.
So are they kind of cutting back on that, or what are they doing?
Yeah, they're working to cut back on it, and just trying to figure out how to get through to the end of the year without using very much of their fund balance. Even with the fund balance they use, they would still be within their policy
Okay.
at the end of the year.
You mean in terms of how much they have left?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
Patrick.
Sure.
Patrick
So,
have a question?
Yeah.
Patrick, did you have a question? or-
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I just asked it here. Yes.
so bonuses for there, so what happened is,
bonuses
Yeah,
remember, I don't know if you remember, we used ARPA money to get bonuses to the full-time and the permanent part-time. So some of the library people who weren't permanent, the library board decided to give them bonuses.
yeah, we had decided not to give them bonuses,
Yeah.
and then they went ahead and
And did it.
Yeah,
did it out of their fund balance.
because the state statute they control,
Mm-hmm.
technically,
Those are one-time payments.
it's
right?
one-time payment.
Although they've done that other years too.
Right, but it's, I'm just saying, it's not,
Yeah.
it's not building it into the base.
It's not built
Right.
into the base, no.
Yeah.
And the other one is, community rec, I'm just gonna hit on this, which is community center, rec department, senior center, and outdoor pool. If you go to page 26, just wanna hit on this really quick. 26 shows that community center is on target, and this is compared to last year too, and this year. Rec, we will have a surplus in that account. And senior center's right on target. The pool is the tough one, because it varies based on weather and some other, other stuff. So we're projecting about a loss of about 30,000. Because of the bigger surplus in the rec fund, that will cover that loss in that fund. On page 27, the
Mark,
other one-
before, I'm sorry, before you leave, I'm just looking at the numbers for the outdoor pool, and the property taxes for that were 188,000 in 2023 and 122.
yeah, so basically what happened there is we had basically a, I don't want to say a permanent part-time person, but we basically had a pool manager last year and some, who no longer was needed or left the city for another job. And they did some reshuffling of how they wanted to spend their wages, and so that's why they went down, and some of the other funds that went up. Because he also has parks, and he would do parks, so parks actually went up where some of that went. But it was basically a reshuffling of some wages in there. I think we'll probably have to look at it again for this year coming up to make sure that makes sense.
Patrick.
Patrick?
Just the big difference between revenue from 2023 to 2024 is, I'm gonna guess that some of that has to do with all the rain that we had and building closed, but like what, that's pretty significant.
Yeah, it is for this year. I don't know if what,
That's a lot.
so if you kind of go, I can hit back on page 23, and I kind of circle this a little bit. Page 23, you'll see the patch sales, and then your swimming lessons. So that right there is 16,000. So usually by end of July, that's closer to 100%. And I think that's part of, I don't know why there was less patch sales and less, mainly it was the swimming lessons too. Why that was, I mean, I can follow up with Jake, see if he has an idea, but that's where that bigger difference is coming from.
But the big difference in the total revenues is the property taxes are
Yeah,
way less.
well, yeah, the overall,
That's what, 66,000?
but the other
Right.
revenue portion is. And then page 27 and 28 is the EMS fund. So on page 27, you can see ambulance fees, we're at 40%, we should be at 58%. I'll get to that in a second. And then on the next page, we're projecting about a loss about, I think pretty much I was projecting, but we are projecting a larger loss in that fund. So if you look at page 29, so revenues related, there was some issues at the beginning of January through March. The billing was behind, and so we started catching up in April through July. They're still not catching up enough right now, and I know the chief is working with our EMS billing provider. I think there might be some things missing, so I know he's in contact with them. I don't know, I think they actually were planning on meeting to kind of go over what's going on with the revenues. So hopefully that gets corrected if there is issue. So with that, and then the other thing is just in the expenses. So there's a lot of expenses that are, should be at 58%, I put them as X. They're, well over the 58%, so that's the two contributing factors in that fund. And that's kind of all I have. Kind of made notes on everything else.
Anyone have any questions for Mark?
Just one, do you know about what our general fund balance is right now, either dollar amount or percentage?
I know it's over 20%. I can get you that dollar, but it's probably 22, 23%.
So that's what we were at the end of, the last
Yeah.
year end, so.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, let's move on to item B, acceptance of general fund accounts payable checks dated August 1st to the 15th, 2024. Documentation of invoices paid is available in the city clerk's office.
I don't have much. A lot of the stuff is just stuff that's already in the monthly financials. So, page 66, all the Leopold tourism grant was paid out. Page 67, Carico Aquatics. Chemicals add up for that, for the pool. Page 69, Ewald is their police department's Ford F-150. Another one, page 70, they had needed some pool locker room repair on HD Pittsburgh Plumbing for $8,800. So when we talk about the pool stuff too, that's part of the reason why there's a loss. Is there's a lot of maintenance this year and a lot of chemicals on top of that this year. That's all I really have. But otherwise, there's this couple of issues we have with the financials, but otherwise we're in really good shape. The budget to actuals and things like that.
Good.
That's good news.
Any questions about the bills?
I have none.
Then is there a motion? Doug, did you have something?
No.
Motion to accept them?
Move to accept the bills.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes. Any staff updates? Yeah. Okay, then is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 We are adjourned. Thank you.
Yeah.